Oh, Heihachi, you have had a very crazy family, haven't you? Oh boy. Hello everybody, my name is Sniping Spawn, and I welcome you all back to the next character in this long-running series of various newcomer ideas for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Super Smash Bros. Series in general. I am at character number 125 on the road to 150. After this, I have 25 more characters to go. Oh my god, I'm almost there. I'm going to be close to finishing this series I've been doing since like March or April last year. But yeah, that's about, yeah. Hello everyone, yeah, my name is Sniping Spawn. Welcome you back. As mentioned in the last video, I talked about Bubbles from Clue Clue Land, a very classic 1984 arcade-ish early Famicom NES game from Nintendo. I talked about a moveset for her, which was probably one of the most challenging characters that came up with a single moveset at all in this entire series. So if you want to see that video, if you love Clue Clue Land and want to think about how she would fight in Smash Brothers, check that one out, please. It was kind of fun and interesting. The video went on a little too long, but not too bad. If you want to hear me talk about Puzzle Fighter 84, Clue Clue Land, pushing sound wave, stunning, stage completing, final smash, whatever kind of character, there you go. But as I mentioned in that last video, character 125 was going to be my return to the world of Tekken. In this series, I've already talked about Jin Kazama and Kazuya Mishima, the father and son, the duo of that, the original main character and his son that started in Tekken 3 when they did the time skip. Now we have to talk about another member of that family, Kazuya's father, Heihachi Mishima, Jin's grandfather, the original villain that somehow kind of is an anti-hero now with the story of Tekken 7 somehow, and is possibly dead in the series, but a very iconic character that's been around in Tekken since the beginning, since its inception in the 90s. Yes, Heihachi is the next character I have to talk about. If I talked about Jin, and I talked about Kazuya, there's no way I could do this series without talking about Heihachi. So why should Heihachi get into Smash Brothers? Why is Heihachi deserving to get into Smash Brothers, let alone, let's say, a Tekken character? First and foremost, Tekken is, without further ado, let's get this started. Why does the character make sense? Moveset ideas and percentage chance they can see the character getting in, which now officially means DLC percentage, so no base roster like the earlier entries in this list. Unless I want to talk about a future Smash Bros. Game, but I'm not doing that until there's years after Ultimate, so I'm not even talking about Smash 6 right now. Okay, let's get back on the track. Why does Heihachi deserve to get in Smash Brothers? Why is Tekken deserving to get a character in Smash Brothers? First and foremost, Tekken is one of the most popular fighting game franchises of all time. Like, you have your Street Fighters, your Mortal Kombats, you have Soul Caliburs, you have Smash Brothers, you have King of Fighters, you have Blaze Blue, and all that stuff. But then you have Tekken, who came around during the 90s freaking fighting game craze. Like, the 90s was the first big push of fighting games, starting with the likes of Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, and eventually going over to something like Tekken and King of Fighters and whatnot, and ending with like Smash Brothers and Soul Calibur and everything. It was one of the biggest fighting games of all time. It's made by Namco, who is pretty much getting on close connections with Nintendo. They've done numerous collaborations, Project Cross Zone, putting Nintendo, like Link and Soul Calibur 2, porting games to the Switch or other Nintendo systems, helping them with Smash Brothers. Namco is probably one of the third-party companies that has a very close tie to Nintendo that's not named Sega. I think in and of itself, if they got themselves another rep, in my opinion, if it's not a Tails character, which I personally would want, and I think this is a little bit more deserving, it should be Tekken for its iconic status in the gaming industry, first and foremost. And Tekken has appeared on Nintendo before. There was Tekken Tag 2 on the Wii U, Tekken Advance on the Game Boy Advance, and I'm sure I'm missing something. There was a 3DS game of Tekken. It's had numerous appearances, and maybe Tekken 7 might be eventually ported to the Switch. Maybe Tekken 8 will come out and it'll be around the time Switch comes out, or the Switch's successor comes out, their 10th gen system, so on and so forth. Tekken has a history on Nintendo, and Namco's known to be supportive of Nintendo, so future Tekken games might be appearing on Nintendo. So its historical status void, it might have more appearances on Nintendo, and it does have a connection in the past so far, given the Project Cross Zone and so on and so forth. And why Heihachi? He's one of the most popular characters in the series. He's been around since the first Tekken. He's been in every single Tekken game. I don't think there's been a single Tekken game that has not had Heihachi. And He's an icon in the fighting game world. You have Jin, you have Ryu, you have Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and all these characters. Heihachi is, if you want to talk about some of the most iconic fighting game characters of all time, Heihachi is one of them. You have Ryu, who's one of the most iconic fighting game characters from Street Fighter in the gaming world in Smash Brothers. Then you could add someone like Heihachi. So yeah, that's why I would think it's deserving. Tekken is a major fighting game franchise. He's one of the major characters, but in every single entry, he's super iconic. You can do a lot with him as a fighting moveset because Ryu pretty much strips everything from Street Fighter and throws it into his moveset. You could do the same thing with him, and I mentioned the same thing in the videos for Kazuya and for, Jin. So there you go. Moveset ideas. Now, it's going to be pretty much the same kind of moveset I was thinking for Jin and Kazama, so I'm going to be kind of repeating myself here. These characters are kind of echoes of each other, given that Kazuya learned fighting from Heihachi, and then technically Jin learned fighting from Heihachi, if not also June, his his mother. So his moveset's a little more mixed, but like they all share the same fighting style because Heihachi taught both his son and his grandson their fighting style. So they basically all use Mishima style fighting karate. Now, Kazuya kind of differentiated his moveset a bit, but kept his fighting style, even though he has a hatred for his father, which I'm surprised he never decided to learn more fighting styles. And then Jin learned from his mother as well, so his fighting style is even more mixed. But this is where it all originated from, except for Jinpachi. But we're not talking about Jinpachi, so just throw him out there. Okay, but yes, Mishima style fighting karate. So basically, he's a karate fighter. Obviously, you can tell by the gi and everything, and you've probably seen his. If you play Tekken, you know how he plays like it. And I basically mentioned the same thing about every single fighting game character I had in this list. I've done a video on Mitsurugi from Soul Calibur, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, obviously, like I mentioned, Jin and Kazuya. When I talked about fighting game characters, Terry Bogard even, I pulled their movesets from their game, and I basically said, okay, here's their moveset. Right into Smash Bros. Just like how they basically did with like Ryu, like he used button combinations, and they took his moves from actual Street Fighter 2 and whatnot, and Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5 and whatnot. Yes, I'm going to pull moves from the actual Tekken series and throw it into him. So his smash attacks are a bunch of like standard punches and kicks, like the basic attacks. Like I wrote them down here: the double face kick, the Demon Slayer, left splits kick, the Hell Axel, the hammer punch, the power punch, the tsunami kick, the twin pistons, stuff like that. If you've actually played Tekken and you know those moves, there's your smash attacks. His special attacks are going to be a bunch more of the heavy hitting, more special, more powerful moves. Like the Iron Hand, the Hip Throw, the Jumping Power Bomb, so you can grab your opponent, just power bomb into the freaking ground, which would be cool to see him fight, like Incineroar. The 10-hit combo, the Muso Tetsui, the Rising Sun, Spinning Demon, Tenma Destroyer, Wind God Fist, Fire Starter, the Electric Wind God Fist. Various more powerful moves. So, and I know I'm basically jumping over his moveset here, but I did the same thing for pretty much every fighting game character, especially Jin and Kazuya. Just take the move set from Tekken and modify it so it fits into Smash Brothers, like what they did with Ryu. So there you go, his moveset. Mishima style fighting karate, standard punches and kicks for his smash attacks, hard hitting, more heavy special attacks for his specials, and as for his final smash, I have to pick this, given this probably one of the most iconic things he's done in the series, and it's really funny. He straps you to a freaking rocket. It's a cutscene based one, so he's going to go in for a punch and grab opponents. He straps you all upon a rocket. It goes flying up. He's like, ha, 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 laughing in the background while it blows up and sends you all flying off the stage. Ha, ha, ha. He did it to freaking Jin and Jinpachi and Kazuya and I think Lars, I think, in one of the games. It's one of the most iconic things he's done. It's one of the most hilarious things he does. It represents the hilarious side of freaking Tekken. So yes, I want to do that. I gave pretty much Jin and Kazuya both their demon forms, like, for their final smash, but that's kind of relating to them. He doesn't have one, as far as we know. If he comes back from the dead in 7, oh no, it's a spoiler. But yeah, so I want to pick one of his most iconic things he does, and he's kind of a hilarious guy. They show his funny side in the series. So he'll grab you, he'll rush forward, he'll grab any opponents within maybe a 5-foot radius of him. Cutscene ensues. He straps you all upon a rocket. He could probably grab 7. If you're lucky, you could probably grab 7 in the 8-player smash, and he launches you into the air while he's laughing in the background doing his ha 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 ha, like you know how you should know how Heihachi laughs. See that? Look at that face. He knows when to laugh. He really does. And you just get blown up and start flying off the stage. There you go. Okay. Let's get on the percentage chance I can see him actually getting in. I forgot what I gave Kazuya, and I think this is the same one. I'm giving the percentage I have here for Heihachi. I think I gave the same percentage to Jin and Kazuya, but I'm giving Heihachi a 60% chance. Why? He's kind of been rumored for Smash Brothers. They kind of rumored another Namco character at some point. This was during like this isn't the most recent rumors of like Ryu Hayabusa and freaking Minecraft Steve and, you know, Doomslayer and whatnot. But I think there was like rumors back when the base roster was being rumored, and I do recall them talking about like a Tekken character or something like Heihachi. So there's that. But it's also, like I said, the closeness to Nintendo that Namco has, and Namco really only has one character in there, and they have Pac-Man. Like, you know, Konami has 3. Konami has 3, Capcom has 3, Sega technically has 2 going on 3, given that they kind of own the rights to Persona, so Joker would be partially theirs, if Bayonetta is technically partially theirs too. But Namco's left out. Besides Square Enix. Namco and Square Enix, but like there's certain third parties left out, and Namco's one of them. One that has probably one of the more close ties to Nintendo, at least in recent, you know, history. Outside of Sega, besides Sega and somewhat Capcom, but it's like more so than Konami at least, and it's surprising that they don't have a character. And the 2 franchises pretty much fighting for this spot are Tekken and Tails. Soul Calibur maybe as well, but I think Soul Calibur we've forgotten about in terms of like it obviously being mostly Tekken or Tails, because Tails is starting to get pushed more on Nintendo. Tekken has some history on Nintendo, might start eventually being pushed more on Nintendo, more of an iconic fighting game character. I'm going to say 60% chance, and I think I gave the same percentage to Jin or Kazama, because if we got a Tekken character, it's obviously going to be one of these 3 characters. Do you think they're going to obviously pick someone like Paul Phoenix or Lee or Law or King or Nina Williams or something like that? No, they're going to pick one of the freaking Zaibatsu Mishima bullcrap family things. So it's either Heihachi, Jin, or Kazama. And in my opinion, it could be any of those 3. I think 2 that stand out most to me are either Jin, or because he's been the main character since 3, or Heihachi because he's the major character throughout the entire series. Not trying to push Kazuma down because he was the original main character, but yeah, whatever. But I'm going to give them all the same percentage chance because I think they're the most likely. And I think Tekken stands out as one of the more likely third-party franchises to add now for the DLC. And if not in the DLC, when Smash 6 rolls around, we're going to, at least if we don't get another Namco character in this DLC, we're going to definitely get one when Smash 6 rolls around. And it's obviously going to be between Tails or Tekken again. So there you go. So yeah, 60% chance for Heihachi Mishima Kazuya. Put in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys want to see Heihachi or a Tekken character in general in Smash Bros? And if so, who would you personally want to see? Because, I mean, I'm not trying to put down like Paul Phoenix or King or whatever, but it's obviously going to be one of the major main characters from the Mishima Kazuya family, you know, Kazuma family. So, but it's like, put it down there. Would you, if it was one of those 3, about Jin, Heihachi, or Kazuya, who would you want? Or if it was open to anyone else in the series, who would you want? Does my moveset make sense? The final Smash sound cool with the rocket setting off and blowing you off the stage? Put it down there, discuss it, we have fun. That's it for character 125. And when we return for character 126, we're going to jump from one fighting game series to another. I've already talked about 2 Tekken characters going on 3 now. Now I've talked about 3 Tekken. I'm going to be jumping back into another fighting game series. I've talked about 2 characters going on 3, that being Mortal Kombat. I've talked about Sub-Zero. I've talked about Scorpion. Who am I going to talk about for character 126? Raiden. See you all later. Bye.